starting to get really concerned about our guys psychologically seem to be pacing themselves to try to get through the heavy minutes that they've been challenged to play. I don't think in my coaching career I've never had a stat sheet where guys play 30, 40, 38, and 37 minutes. Other two guys playing 32. And I thought right from the beginning of the game, this was not the pace that we practiced at. This was not offensively or defensively. I thought that we were a step slow. And Virginia is the kind of team, I mean, I love playing against Virginia because they represent a total execution type of system. I admire and respect Coach so well because he's been able to get those guys to buy in to his system. And I think that's what we have been able to do over the years. Today, I thought that they played more to who they are within their system than we did. I thought they was closer to their ball movement, their ball reversal, their defensive schemes. I thought they were much more consistent than we were. And I didn't get the same level. I didn't get the idea that the energy that we've been accustomed to playing with was not there today. For instance, when they always have had great point guards. And when they're at the top of the key, if you don't play good defense against them, they're gonna initiate their offense and do a good job because they're always gonna have good players. Today we just back up at the top of the key and let them do what we have been accustomed to not allowing them to do. I mean, the reason I enjoy playing against Virginia because it's been some hard-fought games. I mean, sometimes games have gone down to the wire and we've had several games where the last person with the ball wins the game. And they're so well coached and they challenge every defensive principle you have and then they execute so well on the offensive end that if you make a defensive mistake, they make you pay. And the day they executed their system a lot better than ours. And I was disappointed that our guys didn't fight through that fatigue like we had been doing many times this year. The day we kind of gave into it, and it's like they were playing with the thought that I got to finish the game playing 40, 38, 37 minutes. And we got to find a way to overcome that.
Offensively, was it not just a matter of missing shots? Did you not like the shots you guys were getting?
Well, offensively, if you watched us in the past, we've had tremendous ball movement, player movement, and we've been always active with our post guys setting screens. Re-angle screens, side screens, step-up screens, slip screens, go screens, and we occasionally picked and popped. But today, we were not moving fast enough to set the screens, and so when we caught the ball, we were waiting on the screens, and you can't do that in our system. If you don't have a screen, you need to move the ball or go on the dribble handoff. And we waited, and a lot of it, we would pass it and slowly cut, as opposed to passing and making an aggressive cut, which means could be a basket to create some indecision on the defense. And a great defensive team like Virginia has always been, you pass and you cut slow, they just hand you off to somebody else. I mean, this is not the way we've been accustomed to playing. I was surprised that the margin of our loss was only, 9 points? And we didn't play with that sense of urgency, and we have to find a way for our inexperienced guys to be more effective when they come in the game. And the guys who are playing those major minutes got to find a way to toughen up a little bit so that they can sustain the level of energy that we have been accustomed to playing with for longer periods of time.
Coach, you mentioned young guys just needing to find ways to be more impactful, more effective. What does at this point in the season, what does a freshman like a Chandler or a Tom or any freshman need to do to get a little more impactful?
Well, it takes a little longer unless you're a Scotty Barnes or elite guy who's on his way to the NBA anyway. Jonathan Isaac and those guys, their talent overcome some of the lack of understanding of how to play. They're just so ungodly talented. But we've always had third and fourth year players in our system that really set the table and always really put a lot of pressure on your incoming players so they get an idea of what the level of intensity, the level of aggressiveness you have to play with, and we avoid of that. We have some transfer juniors that have been here 2 years, but in order to be comfortable in the system, for us, it's always been our upperclassmen leading the way, and our younger guys adjusting and learning, and their time comes, they're already prepared, and then they're training and creating challenges for our new guys that come in. That's not who we are now. You know, we don't have a guy who's been with us over 2 years. So our veterans, really, to be honest with you, our most experienced guys make a lot of mistakes. A lot of the things that we try to do that is not habit forming. So consequently, but that's who we are, you know. And a lot of teams you see are being effective with the portal and getting graduate students and fifth year guys. We've been late to the party, but we got the memo this time. we won't be late anymore. That's just part of adjustment that we got to make, and we can't make excuses. You just got to be prepared for the unexpected. And I think this is where we are. We got to get our kids playing at a level of consistency with their energy, offensively and defensively, and hopefully we'll have Miller back. I hope by Tuesday, but I'm not sure. We ain't decided on that. It depends on how he improves with his tonsillitis. This is something that he's had before. You wouldn't think that as long as he had to wait to play that he get on the plane and that he's affected by it again. So he's on some antibiotics. They've given him some stronger antibiotics, and hopefully that will help him heal a little faster. And let's see what happens on Tuesday. I know you guys are gonna ask me, so that's what I told you.
What was Virginia doing offensively? They came out, I think, 4 or 5 from 3, 50% from 3. What were they doing to kind of get those looks on the perimeter?
They're playing against a team that is not aggressive enough to get out and contest those shots. You know, the ball was on the rope, and we didn't have the same level of energy to contest those shots as we have been accustomed to. In fact, that's the last 2 or 3 games that we played. We've been very ineffective in getting out with the level of energy that it takes to contest those shots. And that's been one of the things we've always been pretty good at. But we have not learned, we're not playing enough together, we're not talking and pointing and talking enough to create that energy with our voices, talking on screen. In a team like Virginia, they are a lot more free flowing than what they've been in the past, and they have tremendous 3-point shooters, and even some of the shots we contested, they knocked down consistently. But that's who they are. That's the type of team that will challenge you on the offensive end unless you really being aggressive. And tonight we were not aggressive enough, I thought, to fight the screens and get to give us the ability to contest the shots.